Nam Mô Shakyamuni Buddha. Dear Thầy, dear all practitioners, I have a concern um, that I feel I don't understand clearly. Can you please explain further? There was a nun that taught me about um, about how to uh, ask question on Zoom. When I hear what she share about the rules, I feel it makes sense, but I don't know if it's right or wrong. Can you um she told me if we follow the rule, then when we ask the question, we should not we should not um we should not share too much about ourselves. For example, when we uh ask question, we talk about how we raise a lot of uh common habits that make we lose our practice, or when we have a lot of struggles that make me lose the practice. The nun told me for this question we should ask privately instead of ask publicly, because if we ask publicly like that, it will make the Buddhists lose their belief, or lose their respect to the monastic. I feel like she said it correctly based on the rules. So I'm not sure if for our method, the way I ask is correct or not. So I would like to ask you so I can be able to correct if I do it wrong. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha. Uh, in reality, in the precepts, the Buddha gave us all of the skillful means. For example, when he talked about precepts, he said we should not talk about the precepts to the one who haven't uh, accept the precept yet. For example, the higher level shouldn't be talking about the precept to a lower level when they haven't accept the precept yet. But in reality, all of the precepts boils down to the five basic precepts, because for the people who don't really understand what the precepts truly are, then they can generate a thought um of thinking negatively about the precepts. So so you can see that even the precept, the Buddha is very strict and clear on what to do. So those are the principles. Also, the Buddha said for the Buddhists who have the four belief in the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha, and the belief in the precepts. For those people, only those people can hear, can attend, or be able to make judgment, make impartial judgment, and not fall into any size. So that is to also talk about ending attachment, nothing else. Only ending attachment can help we do that. But if we attach to the view, the ego, then we will start having partial judgment and won't be able to have the four um, great belief. So for the people who don't have the four great belief, we should be talking about those things. But for the people who already have the four great belief, then it's okay. So how can we be able to discern who is the one who already have the four um, belief versus the one who don't? So how can we tell? We rely on the three jewels. We rely on their support. We believe in the Buddha, the Dharma, the precepts to help protect our mind, our belief, our right view. So it depends on the circumstances. If we are not uh, clever here, if we uh, don't know how to really understand, for example, if we have made mistake, but we don't want to sincerely repent on our mistake, but we try to cover it up from the public. So Patriot Zen, we emphasize the strong belief in the mind. That belief in the true mind help us enter the Dharma and have a broader view. So the teaching of the Buddha, when he talked about not letting other people listen to those things, uh, it's still in relative term, relative situation. Um, for the one who are the officials, the one who have official ranking, if they take the precept, they can help a lot for the sentient being. If they want to um, listen to the precept, we shouldn't refuse them. Uh, of course, in those situations, we have to be truthful to them and let them know almost all of our secretive things. So what the Buddha taught is um, just a skillful means for us to use, but we have to use it in a clever way. Know how to use it in a clever way, we can turn it into a way to protect our attachment and ignorance, which is very dangerous. If we um, if we don't know it yet, if we don't know if that person already have the strong belief or not. For example, we see that they seem to be very kind, but then uh and then we tell them everything, and then one day that person change um and start uh talking bad about what we told them, you know. So for those things, the Buddha also give instruction to help us um be able to act harmoniously. But you need to remember those are still skillful mean. You should not be tied to those things. For a Zen practitioner, um, don't worry too much about, don't attach too much about those form and sound. Um, we need to do everything that we should to be able to help spread out the Dharma. For example, we should not be um, worry about um, our ranking, whether it is high, very high or not, but we should be willing to listen to all of the feedback um, without discrimination and apply it into practice. That's why in the Patriot Zen, we don't discriminate anyone qualification. Don't think that um, a seasoned person is better than an inexperienced person, or don't discriminate based on age, etc. But we base off on how they act. If the way they act symbolize the right Dharma, then we should learn on them. So our practice, we need to have nothing to fear. If we attach to those teaching and use that to cover up our attachment and arrogance, then it's very dangerous. Or if we go the other way, saying we need to show out everything, that is not right either. For example, some people say, "I'm willing to um, repent in front of the public and not gonna hide anything." Um, then it is also ego. It's not a sincere mind. So for this issue, as long as our practitioner always believe in the mind and raise the doubt, always think positively. Um, some people when they hear, they will understand. Some when they hear, but they won't have compassion. It's okay. Don't worry and don't generate fear on that. The most important thing is to believe in the mind and raise the doubt. Um, thank you, thầy. I understand. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha. Can you hear me well? Dear, dear Thầy, dear singer, and dear all practitioners. After what cô Pháp Hỷ just shared, I also have concern on this issue a lot of times. There was a time I asked you about this issue when I hear Dharma friends share with me. I feel like from a perspective of a person who haven't become a monastic and not live in the temple yet, then their view and their belief in the mind will be weak, even though um, they try their best to follow the Sangha to learn. I feel like for this sharing, I feel like that for those people they need encouragement. At that time, I feel very concerned and I didn't want. I feel fearful of asking the question. I remember what you shared that at that time helped calm my mind down. Just like today, when you share, I can feel the belief and the compassion you have for everyone. And I feel like um, to be able to find a person to accompany us on this path is very difficult. For example, I feel experience with my family, I feel like um, a person who raised the mind to accompany us on this path, they already um, have a strong belief um, in the three jewel. I remember you told me um, just be natural, everything just follow the conditions. Don't put our idea in. In the past, I keep thinking, oh, I have to be like this, I have to be like that, I have to follow the recipe closely, have to understand. But the more I walk on this path, I feel like we just need to be sincere, that we truly need help. We just need to ask. Um, Doesn't matter where we are, as long as we are able to put our mind down and keep the practice, everything come back to normal. Just like you said, for the conditions, maybe right now they don't understand, but that may also be a good condition for other practitioners to help them on their practice. I just have a little bit sharing. Um, Also, I wanted you to share more about the law of cause and effect. In the past few days, I have the opportunity to be close to my family, and I see how they misunderstand the law of cause and effect. In the past, I have the wrong understanding as well. We just thought if we do good, we will receive good, and if we do well, we will get the good thing in the future. But the law of cause and effect spread for the three lifetimes. How can we be able to tell on this? Could you please give more advice? Uh, they are using their knowledge. Like the Buddha said, if they add knowledge onto a view, that will become an ignorance. They are attaching to their knowledge, to their view, um, and therefore duality come. Understand versus not understand, right or wrong. How can we sweep away all of those separate views? Only the practice can help us end those dualistic views. So we ask the question in order to raise the doubt. The doubt is the tendency to want to know, and that tendency to want to know will lead us to the foundational investigation. If we direct ourselves outside, that is considered researching. If we direct ourselves to our true nature, we will be able to recognize the true nature. In order to end all of those duality or all of the attachment, even um, if they attain the authorship, they still need to, even when they are an author, they still need to end their right view, even though that right view is the view that following Buddhism, because that right view is still a dualistic view. It's still within the right and wrong. It's not transcend duality yet. So only the doubt or directing ourselves to the true mind or keep the Hua in mind or moving away from the object or entering the stream. So what we're practicing is to using our tendency to want to know and clash with the thing that we cannot know to generate the doubt. If we chase after duality, thoughts will come after thoughts, and we are the one who make ourselves suffering, not someone else. So all of those thoughts where we assume good or bad, right or wrong, all of those are still an attaching mind. All of those are us establish a view on top of another view. In such establishment, it will end. Um, Today we think it's right, tomorrow we think it's wrong. So anything that we experience, good or bad, we return to the practice, find a way to raise the mind of birth and death. Keep learning to strengthen the belief in the mind. But make sure you have to practice instead of um, instead of just talking about the terms. And the more we practice, the more we will be able to strengthen our belief, and in return, that belief, when it is strengthened, it will help push us further on the practice. Um, we experience a lot of things in life, and we generate a lot of misunderstanding, and those misunderstandings push us into quick conclusion, assuming this or that. For example, some people feel like they are in a situation that is stable and abundant, but that stability and abundance is still within birth and death. It can lose, it can go away anytime. And we are trying everything we can to protect what we deem as happiness. In such temporary life, it's not permanent, but we don't know how to make excuse to protect that happiness. So we keep generating excuse. I just need to do good. I just need to plant a good seed. Then later on, I will have a good fruit. Um, I just need to create more blessings. But in reality, we don't really know what is blessings, what is not, what is good, what is evil. Um, some people even uh, argue that I kill everyone else to protect my family. Why is that a mistake, etc.? But that is not right, because that person forget that all sentient beings are actually our family for countless previous life. Um, our ancestor for previous life. If we just live within our family without other people, how can we live? Who will build a house? Who will build a street? Um, who will give us solution to a lot of issues? Everything are interconnected. If we break it apart, it me we are just protecting our attachment, our ego. So some people talk about um, cause and effect. I plant a good seed, I should be receiving a good fruit. But some people don't understand, um, the fruit doesn't come yet. What they do now, plan is for the future, and what is happening now might just be the fruit of the seed that they planted a long time ago. And sometimes we misunderstand and um, actually uh, actually doing something that seem like bringing the benefit um, at the moment, but later on will bring out a lot of bad karma. So a lot of things, sometimes we think, oh, it is such a benefit, and we cling on to that small little benefit without knowing that gradually that momental benefit will lead to a disaster. So our view is very narrow, it's very close. It's not that far. The cause and effects spread over 3 lifetimes. So the best is to practice, to do cultivation. Doesn't matter how this life is, we find a way to practice liberation in order to move up and get out of this reincarnation, of this cycle of up and down. So all of those duality is nothing out of birth and death. They are the cause and effect of each other. If we are able to end birth and death, we will be able to end everything, and we will reach the ultimate bliss, the permanent happiness, and never have to suffer again. That is for the the great wise people. So the law of cause and effect, we need to understand it deeply and see it interconnectedly. We should not view it like just on the surface, or else we will fall into its trap. Maybe right now there's nothing, there's no issue happen, but later on, we might not get the result that we want, and then we will feel very disappointed. For example, a person who plants a tomato always think that he will get a tomato, but sometimes there are more factors uh, uh, that play into it. For example, um, the weather, um, etc. It can affect whether we will get the result we want. Same thing for the law and of cause and effect. There's the effect of what we plan in the past, and then effect of how we act to the surrounding environment. So for all of these issues, um, we should not just put our idea in that and um, trust our own view like that, because it might lead us to a different result. So we have to rely on the three jewels. Rely on the three jewels doesn't mean have to have a wrong belief in a superstitious belief in the three jewels. It means we rely on the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. Buddha is our enlightenment. Sangha is a harmonious community. Everyone is like brother and sister to us. We helping each other and support each other, not just for human, but also for um, the animals, for the plants, for the nature. We have to be grateful and respect. We should not waste the resources, or else we are wasting our blessings. So if our practitioner know to direct themselves to the three jewels and practice, they will be able to understand the teaching of the Buddha and the patriarch. And when we are able to go align with their teaching, we are just going to be equivalent to them, pure and liberated. So we have to try our best. If we want to learn Buddhism, we have to always learn and don't just put our own idea in there. Always remember the right view is to end attachment. There is a practitioner talk about he was doing doing meditation while driving and caused an accident because there was a pedestrian that walked in the wrong way, who walked during the green light. So the car is still going very at a high, um, going very fast, um, and couldn't stop. And the practitioner at the time was panicked because he doesn't know what to do. If he keep he keep going, then he will crash the person. If he doesn't keep going, then the car in the back will hit his car. So he was so panicked and lose his practice, and he pushed a quick brake. And when he opened his mind, the pedestrian already crossed by, and accident did not happen. So he wondered if it is because the practice that helped, or is it because the true nature that helped? Is it a good thing or a bad thing? Thầy said this is a normal. Everything is within the law of cause and effect. If accident happen, it's still cause and effect. But in this case, accident didn't happen. So sometimes the if we practice well, maybe it can help transform the cause and effect. For example, the effect instead of being so bad will be less worse. But we should not generate any idea based on this. It can be that your fear is too strong. That's why you get panic. For example, the pedestrian maybe just break the rules and walk by without thinking, and then we are just try to break a little bit, and you might only almost cause accident, but in reality did not cause accident. So the a big issue now turned into a small issue. So don't be too concerned. Come back to the practice. Ask the question, raise the doubt. Then gradually we will be able to control ourselves. So now think back, you can see that you actually even though you was panicked, you actually still have some control and push the brake a little bit instead of crashing. So your reaction is very quickly. So keep return to the practice, ask the question and raise the doubt. The time is up. Goodbye everyone. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha.